Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for great support. For my returning viewers and my returning subscribers, I usually appreciate so much for great support always. So now, there is a bombshell Ruto has dropped. And the bombshell is that Ruto is coming out to say that for the first time in Kenya, we have reserved of $10.3 billion. First of all, I want us to know what are these reserves. What is the meaning of this kind of reserves Ruto is talking about? First, foreign currency reserve are a fund that the CBK, the Central Bank of Kenya, keeps for use when needed. So these reserves money, they are like an emergency money for just in case, meaning that this reserve, these foreign currency reserves, si lazima tizikue mingi sana, si lazima tizi accumulate mingi sana. And that's why you are seeing now Ruto is coming out to tell us that for the first time in Kenya, we have reserves of $10.3 billion. So now, Ruto is coming out to tell us that it is for the first time. I want you to underline that word, for the first time. Meaning that hizo regimes zenye zimepita hazikuwa zinafikisha that amount of money in the reserves. So now, in this regime now, I think there is some problem somewhere. And that's why you are seeing that now the reserves are accumulating a total amount of $10.3 billion US dollars. So now I want us to know the main use is to intervene in the forex market to stabilize the shilling. That's the main job of these reserves. E.g., if there is a dollar shortage in the market and the Kenyan shillings is weakening, the Central Bank of Kenya may sell some dollars, inject liquidity, and grab some excess Kenyan shillings off the market. That's the main reason we are having this kind of foreign currency reserves. Now, in an economy where exports surpass imports, such as China, their currency naturally strengthens, so their central bank frequently intervenes to weaken the currency and support export. So now, in our country now, I think the imports are now surpassing the exports. And that's why you are seeing we are having so much problem as a country. The imports, the amount which we as Kenya we are importing is surpassing the amount which we usually export. Tumeona hata juzi majani chai sahi ile yenye huwa ina exportiwa to Sudan imeblokiwa nowadays, haiexportiwi. Why? There is this alleged relation between Ruto and this kind of the militia group. So now this kind of reserve, it is to help the country where it being needed. So now, but haistahili ati ikuwe accumulated that way vile accumulate sahi. So now the Kenya's economy is opposite, and that's why nimewambia the imports, we as Kenyans which we import, it is higher than the export we usually export. So in Kenya's economy, it is opposite. We import more than we export. So we are always in need of surplus foreign exchange reserve to fix the trade balance gap. If Kenya's economy grows fast, exports increase. So now, kama economy yetu hata saa zingine haigrow hivyo very fast, hata kama watu anakuja kutuambia hati imegrow, haijagrow bado vizuri. And that's why if Kenya's economy grows fast, export increases, but import increases too. Meaning that they have to increase at the same time. If you're exporting more, meaning the imports also, you will import more. This widens the trade balance. In such a case, the state increases budget size and budget deficits, deploying more load on taxpayer. And that's why now we as the taxpayers, we are really suffering on the hand of this kind of regime. So now I want us to see, why are our reserves increasing? Because Ruto has come out to tell us that our reserves are now at amount of 10.3 billion US dollars. So the reason why this kind of reserves are increasing, the first one is because imports have slowed down. And you can clearly see the imports have slowed down. This is not a good sign, especially when the slowdown is experienced in industrial goods and chemicals. The second one, CBK over-tightened monetary policy, thereby strengthening the shillings too fast. This made government of Kenya bonds attractive and people had no reason to hold dollars. This is a red flag. When the state is over borrowing locally, it leads to starvation of the private sector. The third one, CBK often uses reserves to support essential spending in defense, medicine, food, and other things. This means that if the country doesn't have ARVs, vaccines for newborns and other medication, then the lack therefore is likely out of incompetence. The money was there. So now you can clearly tell that hii pesa yote ina accumulate kwa reserve, huyu president wetu anapanga kufanyia nini? William Ruto anapanga kufanyia nini all this money, all this 10.3 billion US dollars? So now unapata that Ruto ana celebrate that tuko na 10.3 US billion dollars, while in reality the celebration is about incompetence. And that is true, because now where we are now, it is a very in a bad state, because as a country tuna face so many challenges, and all these challenges ni Ruto na hii regime yake ndio wameleta hii shida yote. So those numbers doesn't matter, even if umesikia ati imefika 20-30 billion dollars, no, hiyo number haimati. What matter is that we as a country, we are in a state, we should be in a state where we can acquire medical, we can have medicine, we can have all the vaccines. Hapo sasa ndo tutaanza kusherekea that tuko na reserves na ziko na pesa. But sasa tutasherekea aje ati tuko na 10.3 billion US dollars in reserves, yet there is someone somewhere is sleeping without any food? Meaning that we as a country and as a leader, as leaders we are having now, they are not helping us anymore. So the meaning for me, it means that I have never seen a president celebrate a build up of reserve. Ni kama for example, uko kwa nyumba, umeka saving imekuwa mingi, na unalala njaa daily. That's not a thing, because utasherekea aje ati umesave pesa mingi na unalala njaa hiyo upande ingine. Hii hata haiwezi eleweka kabisa. And that's the way now Ruto na celebrate that our reserves ziko na 10.3 billion US dollars, but on the other side the common mwananchi anaumia. So I want us to watch the video of William Ruto talking about the reserves, then we proceed.
The first time ever in the Republic of Kenya, we have reserves of $10.3 billion. It doesn't come easy. I must also commend Central Bank for the leadership in our financial sector. Mr. Kavanagh and your team, I must say congratulations. You have led with a lot of focus. I know we continuously consult. I have told you where we should go, and you have been phenomenal. I know some of the time I have pushed you hard, but because you have a lot of experience, sometimes you have said no. And I take no with a lot of grace, because I know that this is good for for all of us. And we will continue. I mean, what Treasury and Central Bank have done in the space of our economy, many people would not appreciate that the fact that we now have a stable economy, that for the first time ever in the Republic of Kenya, we have reserves of $10.3 billion. It doesn't come easy. Again, for the first time, for over a year, our exchange rate is stable. And our inflation has been managed. I must commend the many people who have made this to happen. The farmers have really gone out of their way, because the biggest contributor to inflation is the cost of food. And the fact that our farmers have gone out of their way, and I speak as a farmer myself, they've gone out of their way to produce food for the nation. And it has helped significantly reduce inflation from what you had in 2022, 9.6%, to 3.8% this month. And many other actors, the people who have contributed working, the community health promoters who have gone out of their way to make sure that something is happening around our health infrastructure. The many people in our construction sites, the masons, the carpenters, the steel fixers, many people don't appreciate those people who make the wheels of our economy turn. Those are the heroes. The farmers who wake up early, the people who work in all our sites, the people who wake up go to work, those are the people who turn the wheels of our economy and make us who we are.
So, after there now, you can clearly tell what's really happening with these kind of leaders we are having. Because hii pesa yote, anapanga na kufanyia nini? Ama anapanga kucampaign now 2027. Hii $10.3 billion. Anapanga na kufanya nini? So that's the question. Hii pesa yote yenye ana celebrate atiko kwa reserves, siji for the first time tuko na 10.3 billion, anapanga kufanya nini? So that's the thing. What's your opinion? Drop it at the comment section. Otherwise, thank you so much for great support. Keep on subscribing, liking, and sharing. Let's meet in another video.